One evening, I got a call from my friend Lisa, who asked to stop by my house for a bit. Wearing a pair of pajamas, I went outside to meet Lisa, who drove up in a Cadillac with two older men. After a few minutes, Lisa said they were going to leave. I walked towards her to give her a hug, and that's when I was pushed into the car. I was in the car for about 5 hours, but Lisa was dropped off after about 10 minutes. When we finally arrived, I was dragged in by one of the men. He told me I was now his property, and if I ever tried to escape, he would kill my whole family. Then a girl, who looked about my age, ushered me into a room and told me I was to make about $500 a day if I wanted to survive. I am a victim of human trafficking.
I grew up in a poor family, but we got by, even though sometimes we had to go without food for a while. On a spring day, a man came from the big city. He was dressed so well, and he brought yummy treats for all the kids. I was watching him talk to my dad from the back of the house as I did my chores. He told my dad that I could go to the city and do housework for wealthy old women. He gave my dad $200 and promised my mom that I can come back in a year. I was so happy I could make money now to help my family. The man took me to the city and we arrived at a house. But to my surprise, there were many girls there, and all of them were dressed in heavy makeup and fancy clothes. I was taken to a room where clothes were set out for me. All of a sudden, there was a knock at the door. A middle-aged man came in and started undressing. From that night on, I was forced to have sex with 5 strangers every night. All the money I made went to the man who I was sold to. It was not until 10 years later that I was able to escape. And even now, I cannot return home. I am a victim of human trafficking.
I was on Facebook one night and I got a message from a boy. I'd never seen him before. He was mutual friends with a lot of people from my high school, so I assumed that I had met him before. He told me to meet him at the high school football game. He said that he was very shy, but that he really liked me. One day I was telling him about my dream to become a model. He said he could get a job for me. He took me to get my hair and makeup done, but once I got to the studio, people started taking pictures of me with their phones. He promised that these were only test shoots. Then he told me I'd been chosen to get a real photo shoot, but that it was an 8-hour drive away. I went home and asked my mom, but she said no. I thought that this was my big break and that I finally had a chance to live out my dream, so I decided to go with him. With $20 in my pocket, I left. When we finally got there, I saw the website my pictures were on. It was an escort service. I am a victim of human trafficking.
There are an estimated 27 million adults and 13 million children in the world who are victims of human trafficking. Approximately 80% of victims are for sex and 80% are female. In the Seattle area alone, 300 to 500 underage girls are victims of human trafficking. There are more human slaves in the world today than ever before in history. Catholic social teaching says that human trafficking is a violation of the dignity of the human person. Human life is sacred. Deprivation and powerlessness wounds whole communities. Rights and responsibilities need to be protected. We all have a responsibility to promote human dignity, to protect human rights, and to build common good.
Thus says the Lord of hosts, render true judgments, show kindness and mercy to one another, do not oppress the widow, the fatherless, the sojourner, or the poor, and let none of you devise evil against another in your heart.
So what can we do? Unfortunately, finding solutions to human trafficking can be difficult because its victims are often invisible. But what you can do is educate. Raise awareness about human trafficking and the damage it causes to victims and societies as a whole. Research statistics and facts about human trafficking in your community. Pledge to talk to one person per day about human trafficking and ways to help. Support organizations that work to fight against human trafficking. Visit ipjc.org for more information.
Learn to do good, seek justice, correct oppression, bring justice to the fatherless, plead the widow's cause.